Set 32 Pinnacle 21 technical question and answers. Answers are highlighted in green. Question 1. What does the reject status mean in a Pinnacle 21 validation report? Option A, dataset passed all rules. Now, if the question is related to reject status, how can the dataset passed all the rules? So this is a contradictory statement. So this is not the right answer. Dataset has minor warnings. When it has rejected, how can it have warnings, right? So this is not the right answer. Option D, dataset is not applicable for validation. So even this is not the right answer. So the correct answer is dataset has one or more rules that failed critically. Now when you have a question which it says the reject status is nothing but something has failed, right? So the correct answer is C. So dataset has one or more rules that fail critically. Reject status in Pinnacle 21 indicates serious issues like say missing required variables or invalid formats that must be resolved. Question 2. A warning message value not in control terminology in P21 is typically due to option A, syntax error, no. Use of depreciated variable, no. Dataset too large for validation. Now even if the dataset is too large, that does not mean that it will throw you a warning or any error. It's immaterial. Even if the dataset is small, medium or large, it cannot throw such kind of warning message that value is not in control terminology. So this is an irrelevant option. So the correct answer is C, use of a value not listed in CDISC code list. Now when a value is not mentioned in the control terminology, that means that the value is not listed in the CDISC code list, right? So the correct answer is C. Control terminology issues arise when variable values don't match the CDISC defined code list. Now CDISC is a non-profit organization where it gives you a standardized kind of a control terminology which they release the versions every frequent duration, right? So those values should match with the data, and if it is not matching, then only it will show you a warning message. Question 3. When validating the Adam dataset in Pinnacle 21, you receive a message duplicate records for unique subject ID, param CD, AVEL. What should you check first? Option A, SDTM datasets. Now the question is related to duplicate records in a specific dataset, not among the SDTM datasets, right? So this is not the right answer. Now the option C says missing data. Now the issue is related to duplicate records. Now when you have a duplicate records, that means there is some data in a specific variable and the column, right? So missing data cannot be a specific relevant option. So this is not the right answer. Option D is control terminology. Now control terminology is a standardized kind of code list, so you cannot get such message. So we are talking about the duplicate record, so this is not the right answer. So the correct answer is key variable combinations. Answer is C. Duplicate messages typically suggest incorrect definition or handling of key variables in Adam dataset. So if you don't handle the key variables or the primary key variables which are used to set or merge the data sets, vertically and horizontally respectively, only in those situations it will give you a duplicate records message. Question 4. Which version of Pinnacle 21 validation rules should be selected while preparing for FDA submission in 2025? Option A, PMDA rules, no. Option B, legacy FDA 2016 rules, no. Option D, internal company standards, no. So the correct answer is C, latest FDA rules supported in Pinnacle 21. Using the latest FDA compliant validation rules ensures alignment with current regulatory expectations. Question 5. What does the Pinnacle 21 rule missing value for required variable indicate? Option A, the variable is not used in the study. Now, even if the variable is used or not used in the study, it cannot be missing value for required variable. So this is not the right answer. The variable is missing in the define.xml. Now the question here is related to the missing value, right? Not about the missing variable. Now there is a contradictory statement, like missing variable and missing value of this specific variable. There is a difference in these two terminologies, so you should understand the difference. So this is not the right answer. The dataset has extra records. Even if the dataset is having extra records, that does not mean that required variable value is missing, right? So this is not the right answer. So the correct answer is A required variable is present but has no value. So the correct answer is C. The rule flags required variables that are null or blank when values are expected as per standards. Now, the required variable, say for example, I have a unique subject ID. Now, unique subject ID in each and every project, whether it's a non-CDISC or a CDISC kind of a project, it cannot be blank or it cannot have a missing value. Unique subject ID is a primary key variable that it should have some value as per allotment of the unique subject ID. Question 6. You receive a define.xml not found message while validating in Pinnacle 21. What could be the likely reason? Missing datasets. Now, even if the datasets are missing, that does not mean that the define.xml is not found. If the SDTM datasets are missing, it will throw you an error saying that the SDTM datasets not found, right? The question here is related to define.xml not found. So this is not the right answer. Deprecated data format. Even if the data format is not as per the expectations, the define.xml if it is there at the correct path, it cannot throw you this error. So this is not the right answer. Excessive data size. Now, even if the data set size is quite massive or it's excessive, it will not throw you an error saying that the define.xml not found. So this is not the right answer. So when you don't provide the correct path or the correct file name, only then in those situations you will receive a message saying that define.xml not found. So the correct answer is B. Pinnacle 21 expects a properly named and correctly placed define.xml file for validation. Question 7. In Pinnacle 21, how do you determine if a finding is an error or warning? Option A, based on user's judgment. No. Based on file size. Now the file size has nothing to do with the error finding or the warning finding, right? So this is not the right answer. Based on sponsor SOP. Now sponsor SOP is completely different. That does not mean the sponsor will decide like what is error and what is warning. So this is not the right answer. So the correct answer is based on Pinnacle 21 rule severity. So that Pinnacle 21 is a specific software where it validates whether the specific finding is error or warning. So the Pinnacle 21 software categorizes issues by severity, whether level is error, warning or reject based on the rule impact. So the correct answer is B. Question 8. If sponsor uses Pinnacle 21 enterprise version, what is one major benefit compared to community version? Option A, more colorful interface, no. Requires no installation, no. It's a free tool, no. Pinnacle 21 is not a free tool and it does require an installation, right? And the correct answer here is automated compliance tracking and audit trail. So Pinnacle 21 Enterprise supports validation, automation, role-based access, and compliance tracking for regulatory submissions. Question 9. Which file format must datasets be in before running validation in Pinnacle 21? Option B, Excel, no. CSV, no. PDF, no. So the correct answer is XPT. Pinnacle 21 requires datasets to be in SAS transport format .xpt as per CD submission standards. Question 10. You get a Pinnacle 21 warning, label of variable X does not match define.xml. What is the implication? Option A, it's acceptable, labels are ignored. No. Option D, it can cause submission rejection. No. Option C, it only impacts display. No. The correct answer is it flags metadata inconsistency. So the correct answer is D. The warning indicates that the variable label in the dataset does not match the metadata in the define.xml, risking reviewer confusion. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a feedback comment mentioning any topic that you want me to make a video. Looking forward for a positive response. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a feedback comment. Many thanks for your support and having great connection.